Alright, well I guess it stopped, so I'm going to keep going here. It's getting darker, as you can tell. So anyhow, the heat will be unbearable, no rain, multitudes curse God, but those touched by the love of Christ will repent, and God will spare them. Psalm 53:1 is quoted. Power outage caused by the heat, fuel shortage grows worse. Now we had some fuel difficulties, but not really a shortage yet. So this may be another year off. You know, we might stumble along for a whole another year before all this happens. I'm kind of hoping so. It gives us more time to prep and get ready. But then again, it may not. Riots and deliberate destruction by enraged individuals and extremist groups aiming at overthrow of the government. Local police will fail to deal with violence, and state troops will be called out, and in some areas the violence will be so severe that federal troops and tanks will have to be called out. Now, these are things to watch for before this accidental launching takes place. Now, I'll get into that later about Putin, but it says in December, Russia will accidentally nuke 4 American cities: Lexington, Kentucky, Richmond, Virginia, Columbia, South Carolina, and just north of New York City. The U.S. counterattacks and hits 3 Russian cities. And then the second year of the events begins. So, okay. Now, right now there's a whole lot of things going on over in Ukraine and Europe, and also there's a lot of hardware being moved around. And when you start moving around that kind of hardware, and you have, you're ordering these things to happen and to go on, your subordinates, they do what you tell them, and then they're all doing it, but nobody's had a whole lot of practice in really gearing up all this stuff, okay, until now. So there's going to be some mistakes, and according to Chuck, it was a computer glitch. Actually, it wasn't necessarily human error, but when you start playing around with all these things, all this heavy, complicated hardware, stuff goes wrong. People drop things, forget to put a bolt in, things happen, and as time goes on and more people get tired and fatigued and whatnot, then you even have more stuff go wrong. But it never quite goes like you plan it to go. So those people in those cities, if you live in one of those cities, you really need to take stock and get on your knees and get in your prayer closet and pray. You might be seeing this video and you're not even a believer, okay? You don't believe that, you never received Jesus into your heart, or you don't know anything about any of this that's going on. Well, but you live in one of these cities, and maybe there's something checking your spirit, and you're saying, hey man, maybe there's something to what this guy's saying. And I don't take credit for any of this. This is something God led me to find out about, okay? So this is something Chuck Youngbrand had seen, or was shown by Jesus himself. And this was back in the 70s, okay? And now all this stuff is starting to happen. So it's logical to conclude that everything he's talked about is going to happen. And it's all, it's written of in the Bible as well. Not specific little events like this, but the general outlay of the havoc that's coming is coming. And there's nothing going to stop it. So if I was you and I lived in one of those cities and I had a family, and like Lot, I would, what did Lot do? He went out and he talked to his sons-in-laws and told them and warned them. Now they didn't listen, but maybe yours will, maybe somebody in your family will listen to you. And if you're the priest of your family, if you're the head of the household, and the mantle's on you, and you need to do what you need to do, okay? You need to, do your duty to your family, okay? It says in the Bible, if you don't do that, you're worse than an infidel. And That's why, I'm out here with my sweetheart, practicing, because I may not be home when some bad things or bad folks come running around, and I want her to be as prepared as possible to deal with it and end it, and protect herself, So that's what I'm saying is you need to take stock and ask the Lord to lead you, ask the Lord to show you, and He will. If you give Him everything of your life, okay, and don't kid around and really mean it, He will let you know, and He will guide you where to go. Because there are going to be places for people to go. He's a loving God, and He has provided places for people to go that will listen to Him and will follow Him. And in either case, He will take care of you. He will protect you. He protected Dumitru Duduman. Went through some serious torture. Okay, he got his ribs cracked in. He was beaten to within an inch of his life. But God was with him the whole time. The angels were right there with him, and he survived it. And he went on to live the rest of his life in relative peace. And he came to America, and he obeyed the Lord, and he warned people. He warned the churches, and he did what the Lord had him to fulfill. And so I'm just saying, get on it, and because if this is the year, you've only got August, September, October, November, December. You've got 3 or almost 4 months, maybe. Okay, now that's not a whole lot of time when you're talking about, packing up and finding a place to go, and it's going to be a little bit of a stressful situation, I'm sure, but he'll guide you through it, and you just have to trust Him. Okay. Anyway, it's getting pretty dark, and I got to put all this stuff away and get back. So I'm gonna leave this office for another one. Anyhow, so you all take care, and thanks for watching. Roger out.